Hello, everybody. It is stream o'clock for today. We have about 30 models to work through, so this is going to be fun. I don't know how many I'm going to actually get done. I hope all of them, but also I might not. I might just be like, nah, might nope out. So let's start off. We're doing our Nighthaunt. We have Blade Geist, we have 10 Blade Geist, and we have 20, I forget what these guys are called. Does anyone know what these are called off the top of their head? Anybody? Anybody? I think they're... it's not important. Not important. So let's start with our... Oh yeah, because it sucks. Okay, so we're batch painting. So batch painting, we have to do everything all at once. So these are going to be up here. The other guys are over here, over on this side. So we'll be kind of grabbing them and... Oops. God, I hate how spindly these are. So we got our Seraphim Sepia Shade. We're going to get all their fleshy bits with this. If I remember correctly, this is what I did to them. This is how I got the flesh tones on them. Or the Skeletor fleshy bits. And then we're also going to have to make sure it doesn't pool. You don't want to do too much. So, just going to keep going on here. These guys are easier because they don't have faces. It's just arms. They're just flailing, flapping arms. The new codex had kind of leaked already for these guys, for the Nighthaunt, and I'm pretty excited. Their sub-factions are pretty cool, and they'll have sub-factions now, which, they had two that were built from like a different like book, and that is kind of dumb. So we have actually a dedicated book now that's better. You get all these little cool ghosty rules, and the Blade Geists are cool too, because if I use a certain sub-faction, they get to do like free mortal wounds when they charge. And you also get like lots of bonuses for charging in general for this army. You can retreat and charge in the same turns, so that's all good news for Nighthaunt. Oh, the kitty! He says, "Let me in here. I want to help paint. I like ripping these models off your desk and trying to break the little nubby bits." And so I was thinking, and like these guys will be battle line if I use that sub-faction, which I probably will. But then that means I have to buy another box of these guys. I mean, I still don't have the whole 2,000 point army of these guys done, or like I don't even have like 2,000 points of them yet, because I was waiting for this book to kind of decide what else I kind of filled with, and just to see if there's like any more new stuff. I did purchase a 3D printable file for like a Morngul proxy, and I think that might be kind of cool, but because this Forge World models are pretty cool, so we'll see how that goes, if it prints well, because I don't have a resin printer. I only have an FDM printer, so it could either go really good or it can go bad. I think the Giants turned out pretty good, and that little guy turned out pretty good too that I 3D printed, so maybe it's not such a bad thing. Sometimes you gotta do that to get the bubbles out. I almost thought of not chain rasps. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, I almost thought about not painting the chain rests and just leaving it and just kind of leaning into the blade guys. But like, I don't know, they're cheap and I have a ton of them. So maybe I'll just use them for now until I do decide to go blade guys or whatever. Because I mean, honestly, I haven't even played this army yet, and I've had it for a while. I mean, it's been a while on the channel. You can even see like that I've painted the Nighthaunt and stuff like that. So that's one kind of way to go with it. And these ones kind of do have faces. So I've also played around with the idea of getting the gash, which some people have kind of been against, just because he's almost 1,000 points by himself. So it's a pretty big point sink for a guy. Oh no, what's happening here? Oh, it's not glued in here. So I bought these second hand. Everything but some of this stuff. Most of my army before times of this army was bought from Facebook Marketplace. So they're not built maybe to a great standard. So I have to kind of fix them as we go. And lots of them were broken when I got them too, which, I mean, that's just the nature of the Nighthaunt. I mean, I just recently sold all my extra ones off, like the ones I knew I wouldn't want to use, just because like I had so many extra models that I didn't need. But those in the Facebook post I put like, hey, these are Nighthaunt. They are basically attached to things with like one little thing touching the ground. So chances are they'll probably break in shipping a little bit. So don't get mad at me. And you do your best to pack these things, but that's just what happens. Lots of like, these were also sitting in my old house on the floor, so they probably got all sorts of like dust and like cat hair and all this stuff on them. So let's try to clean it up as best we can as we kind of trudge through these models. And I will be uploading the VOD of this to the YouTube channel after this is over. Probably tomorrow I'll probably upload it. But I'm also going to go see Doctor Strange tomorrow. And I'm super excited about that because I like Marvel movies. I mean, Captain America is my jam, and he's not in it. Presumably, who knows? I mean, it's a multiverse, so you can kind of he could be in there, but I am just excited to see more Marvel movies. And it's weird because like these Phase 4 movies have been kind of hit or miss for me. They're mostly miss. I really like Shang-Chi, but Eternals did not like. The Black Widow movie did not like at all. If that was Phase 4, does that count as Phase 4? I don't know. And were there any other ones in here? What were the other movies? I think that was it, right? Is that it for the movies for Phase 4 so far? Then we have Thor and Thor coming up and Black Panther coming up this year, so maybe we'll get some more cool stuff. They killed all their cool guys, in my opinion. Like for me, like they killed they got rid of all my characters that I liked. I do like Thor, and I like the Guardians, but you got rid of your staples. You got rid of Captain America. You got rid of Iron Man. So it's definitely gonna be rough. I mean, I don't know why they did that. They should just recast the characters, to be honest. I mean, Avengers without them is kind of weird, in my opinion. In my own personal opinion. So we're getting all this Seraphim Sepia down. And these guys and cleaning up the goobers on them as we go. Thought about putting on some like royalty-free music or something while this was going, so that we had some jams. But then I got lazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, so it's 19 of these guys because we already had painted one of these guys for the channel a while back. So it's one less we have to paint. And then if I feel like it, we have our orcs to get through to paint into our new color scheme, which kind of debuted the last couple of weeks on the channel with that Kit Bash video, and then the painting of that guy and the painting of the Maw Crusher today. There have been some changes on the color scheme, which I think I went over in the Maw Crusher video, but we're painting them kind of like a red, white, and blue scheme for the orcs, and I think it looks cool. But we have 6 boars to paint and 10 brutes and what's called a shaman and a war chanter, and I think that's it. Oh shoot, I forgot about this guy. We have to paint this guy too. So never mind, we're back to 20 models, guys. We have to paint the Cruel Gas Cruciator, which I built him on the channel a long time ago. I could just make a video of just painting him, but we're batch painting, so we're not gonna do that to you guys. You've seen this scheme enough to know how we do it. For a Skeletor army, so it's not fair to be like, hey, here's another video showing you how to do the same paint color on just a different model. I feel kind of cheap doing that to you guys. So we're just gonna work on that. So we'll just put him there. He's cool. He's at least a little interesting to look at, not like these guys who aren't as interesting to look at. We're almost there. We're almost done with this coat. Not coat, because we don't do multiple coats here. We only do one coat. It's a waste of time. We want to get these guys on the table, ready to play. Six more people. 6 more. I really like this one. This is like my favorite sculpt on these guys. I don't know if this is. No, this is not the leader. The guy with the little candle staff thingy is the leader. But this one's my favorite sculpt of them. You might be seeing some of the green on these models. That's what they were kind of painted before. They were painted just like in a weird. I don't know if it was contrast paint, but it was a green and like a black on some of them. And they smelled like cigarettes, which that wasn't fun. This guy needs to be glued into. Stand by. think these all come from like easy to build kits. So these guys are just kind of like snap in. Let's take this. Let's put it in because I have super glue on it. Put it down there. Actually, let's make sure this thing's in straight. I was thinking about like the basing for these guys. I'm gonna do probably the technical paint, the Astro Granite, and then do like a green wash over it, like a sickly, like the military shade wash, obviously, because it's the only green wash that we have. But to give it more of a like a spooky, ethereal ground kind of thing. I think that'll be cool for these guys. There's some of these sculpts I hate the most. Like this one's fine. The one where it's just like the guy sticking out of the floor with like a little knife in his hand, that one sucks because he breaks at his arm a lot, and it's not fun. I tried to include because I have like I said I have a ton of these guys, so I try not to include them that much. But these ones right here, these ones, you can see there's a little lump right there because that's where I put the super glue on it to reinforce it after it broke. These guys are the leaders. These guys are pretty cool. I like the helmets. The helmets are pretty cool. And then the big candelabra thingy. It's dope. So this is 2 units of chain gas. Because we're just running minimums of 10. Just in case we don't have... If I don't run the other one that gives me the blade guys as battle line, then these guys will fill my role as battle line. So there's 2 units of these and then 1 unit of the spirit torments, which we've already painted on this channel before. With the airbrush, I think we did. It's funny because when I was looking at these, I was like, I just kind of want to airbrush them. I think it would just be a lot easier, it'd be faster. But you guys know my history with airbrushes and them never working how I want them to, so it's probably better that I didn't do that. But just like spray them all blue from the bottom, all purple from the top, and then I'd have to come back through and repaint everything white to get the flesh done. But it might be worth it. It might have been worth it in the end. Especially because now we're gonna have to get into the deeps of it, right? And it's gonna be long. So let's get our deep sky blue. That is the blue that we use for the whole bottom half of these guys. Give it a good shake. Put it on our palette here. We're still using kind of this crappier brush. It's a little frayed and stuff because let me just give this a little misty mist just to give it a little bit more flow to it. And now we're gonna paint the bottoms of these guys. So we're gonna get the whole bottom of these guys painted in this blue. Except some of the tips of their spookiness stays white, and we'll kind of blend it in later with the white. I feel like the brushes don't hold on to the paint that well, but we're doing it. Oh, hey, look, a viewer. One whole viewer. Hello, one viewer. Thank you for joining us. We are painting our Nighthaunts in our Skeletor theme because that's the most appropriate color for them to be in. I gotta get in here. The models are so fiddly. I wish they weren't. But they are cool. Get big old Nazgul vibes, which is pretty cool. We're just trying to get a smooth coat on our model, and then even in there too, we have to get those little inside bits. So we're gonna have to make the top cloak a little messy right there, but it's okay. We're coming in with a darker color after, so it should be okay. We won't be noticeable when we get there. Just making sure that this blue coats as best as we can, because sometimes it dries and leaves like little white spots on the models. And that's not cool. It's not what we want. So let's go in here, get this. Whole inside here. Just kind of leaving the tips to be white for now. We'll come back through later with a white to kind of blend it in better. And everything gets in the way on these models. Just want to get good coverage in there, because that's the spot that'll come back to bite us later. We got lots of little holes and tears inside their cloaks here, so just make sure you get those. And then we move on to the next one. Who's this guy? Hold on, what's going on with this guy? Oh, okay, that was that. I was like, he looks really bad. I think this one's my favorite sculpt on this one. I like this one the most. He's cool. He's all out, stanced out. Like, you coming at me? You want to mess with me? So this looks like, okay, so it's got to follow the lines of the cloak and the spirit part. Find out where they separate. So that we get the right things colored. And, like I said, it doesn't really matter because we are going to be painting with a purple over on the top cloak, so it is darker, so it'll cover better. But like I usually say, you want to try to keep it as clean as possible when you're doing this, because in that way, in case it does look weird, you have minimal spots that are looking weird. Ooh, this piece didn't connect all that great. Or maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know. We'll say it's how it's supposed to be. That's what we're gonna say. We're gonna say this is how it's supposed to look. It was my custom choice for my army. That's what we're gonna say. And get this here. Whole inside. Make sure we're getting the bottoms of these things too. It's often overlooked. Okay. Clean up this brush. You see the paint getting a little close to the end there. Even though this brush is pretty much done for, I like to do my best to keep it semi-decent. too watery. So just gotta clean that up and we'll go this way. That was way too much water in the paint. It was filling in that hole. I was like, that shouldn't be happening. I just realized I should probably have like a banner at the bottom being like, go to my YouTube channel if you want to see more paint, like actual painting that are not done with a webcam. Drum Wargaming on YouTube. Drum like the instrument, Wargaming like the games that these are from. And I paint lots of cool stuff on there. I paint some Star Wars Legion stuff, so some stuff for May the 4th. You can be on there and looking at those things. Paint Marvel miniatures for Marvel Crisis Protocol, and I paint Games Workshop stuff. It's probably mostly Games Workshop stuff because they do make, in my opinion, the better game. But I really like Marvel Crisis Protocol, and I paint those stuff, and just Marvel in general. So painting those models is always fun. And go here. Go to this guy. See what I mean? Like he's just on this one thing. That's the only thing that's holding him up. So the model kind of bounces around a lot. And I do have painting handles, which maybe I should be using just to help my hand a little bit more. But I'll also have to switch them out between every single model, which might not be optimal for all this batch painting that we have to do. And let me see. Let me go here, here. Just slop it in there. Oh God. Someone's texting me and it's allowed. Can't do that. Okay. So here about this. Let's find some royalty-free music to put on while we paint so that you guys have stuff to listen to. Or not. Let me see, hold on one second. Let me do this. Let me go here. Let me go to here. Let me click this. Let me see how it looks. Ooh, it has sound. Let me share to copy. Okay, let's go like that. Let's close that and let's go here. Let me mute my phone because that's respectful. Maybe I should have done this before I started. But you know, one time is better than no time. And there. Go back there. Okay, there we go. We're back. Let's get some more of our deep sky blue in our palette here. These areas are a little tight in there. This brush is like, why are you still using me? Why? Ooh, here comes shaky hands. That's cool. I didn't think they'd be making an appearance. Get the insides here. Probably the whole inside should be blue, but like I say, if you can't see it without going in there, your opponent can't see it either, so why bother painting it? If you want to paint it, go ahead. That's all up to you. But for me, I'm not going to paint it. Thanks for the raid. Scrapper 84. Just painting some Nighthaunt. Just batch painting tons, all the models that I have left for this army to get it done. And I'll probably be streaming for a total of like 2 hours today, maybe, depends on how feeble my body gets. But we'll see. Ooh, it's not looking good there. And if anyone else in this channel, if you guys paint models or have any other hobbies, what are you guys painting right now, or what are you guys doing right now for your hobbies? It'd be interesting to hear what everyone else is working on. Let me get in there. Get me this. These little spots that I miss all the time. Those little holes in there. I had the gap fill on this one. That's why it's a little chunky in there. It's a little chunky boy. And it's gonna have to be painted for now. So many nooks and crannies in these guys. If they could like figure out a way like to just get rid of this inside part of the Nighthaunt, they would be so much more fun to paint, I think, in my opinion, just because you don't have to kind of like shove a brush in there and just wiggle it around and hope you're getting everything. I mean, there's probably a better way to do it, but like I say, not the way I do it. So for those of you who just joined us, we are painting our Nighthaunt in the style of Skeletor from He-Man. I thought that was the best color scheme to go with for these guys. I think it looks cool when it's all done. You can see some examples of done models on my YouTube channel, which is Drum Wargaming, and that's drum like the instrument, and Wargaming like wargaming. I might have spelled that wrong, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. But I got new videos every Wednesday on there, and it's a whole bunch of variety of models on there. You can see some Skeletor Nighthaunt on there, or I can just grab one. It's off to the side over here. Grab this little chain grasp. It says, hello. So yeah, so far we've done all the Seraphim sepia for their showing skin. Now we're doing the blue, and then we'll go to the purple, and then the wash, and then the blades and all that stuff. But we gotta get through 30 models. And then if I have energy, maybe doing some Iron Jaws that I have sitting to finish those guys out for my Iron Jaws army, because I like to have an army for every, like, not faction, because they're all like factions, but like for every, like, I guess, I don't know what to call it, like discipline, I guess, or whatever. Like, so order, I have one order army, and that's Fire Slayers. I have one destruction army, and that's Iron Jaws. And then death is these guys. And then chaos, it was Skaven. I had them until recently, because I want to switch to Beasts of Chaos. And I think, well, it's funny because my Fire Slayers are painted like He-Man, and I even made their terrain piece like Castle Grayskull. And then these guys are like Skeletor, and for the Beast of Chaos, like, of course I want to paint them like Beastman, like all orange and stuff. I think that would be really cool for them. But I don't have any of those Beastmen yet. So that's going to be my next project after I finish up all of this. Which is funny because, like, these, I've been pretty lucky with the 3.0 codexes so far, with Iron Jaws getting updated recently, and then Fire Slayers even more recently, and then next is Nighthaunt. So once all that's done, and I'm hoping for Beasts of Chaos, but we'll see. I mean, maybe in summertime, or wait, what was summertime? Summertime is maybe Sylvaneth and Skaven ? But those are all speculations right now. So I'm holding out for Beasts of Chaos, because Beasts of Chaos are awesome. Oop. And then I do play some 40k. I don't play as much, admittedly, as Age of Sigmar or Marvel Crisis Protocol, but for that I have Imperial Knights, and those guys I painted like Gundams, because I'm a weeb, and that's what you do when you're a weeb. You paint things like animes. Some more blue down. Let's not thin our paints. And we'll just go through. This is our last Bladegeist, which is cool. It's funny because, like, right when I'm getting sick of it, I get sick of painting these guys around like the 8th one, and then right around the corner we have 20 chain rasps to do. So hopefully I don't get as bored painting them after only 8. They are smaller, so it might be easier. And the whole inside. And like I said, I might not even use the chain rests once this new codex comes out, because I can make these guys battle line. But do I want to do that? Because then that also means I have to buy another set of these guys, because I only have 2 right now. And one of them is already painted. Which is weird. I don't know why I decided to paint one whole one and not another one. I don't know if you guys do that. If you have to paint a bunch of models and you're like, oh, let's just paint these ones, and you have like a whole another set of them to do. Like I wish I did it when I did them originally. Repoint our brush here as best we can. Whew. Let's keep going. Now onto this guy, our Cool Gas Cruciator. I don't even know if I'm gonna use him either, to be honest. Like I'm definitely gonna get the boat guy, who's like one of the new leaders for these people. He looks cool, and he's a boat, so like why would I not buy him? So I'll have to drop some of my people. Is this too big to fit in here? No, I was just being weak. Load up our brush here. And I probably should have built this in sub-assemblies, but it's always the name of the game is, should I leave this in sub-assemblies? And usually, I make the wrong choice. So that's cool. I woke up and chose complications for my future self. You know what? Forget that guy. Forget future you. If you need to build models just to build them and put them on the table, then build them. Forget about the future you. You can worry about that later. That's future you's problem, not your problem. You're not your right now problem. All this inside bits. Can I get all the way in there? Yeah, we're in there. And here. I don't even know what some of this stuff is hanging off him. Like, okay, that's probably metal. I feel like his torture tools. My tools! Okay. And we got this whole, like, part here. Did I decide not to paint this one? Oh, okay, no, I did. Just didn't do the underside. You ever get lost when you're painting stuff? You're just like, where was I? Oh, yeah, I was here. I was painting that part. Okay, and the rest of that is purple. Clean up this little guy here, and then we got 19 of these little dudes. They're probably not even worth putting on here, to be honest. Ooh, no, let's switch to a better brush, because this is going to be a mess if I keep using this brush. It's going to be a mess. This one, it's newer, has a better point on it. Haven't completely destroyed it using it yet. But it's okay, because we buy cheap Hobby Lobby brushes, and so it doesn't matter. It's okay. But you know what? Let's take it. Like, let's just embrace it. Let's embrace the suck right now. Just go with this. And especially since it's a little, probably the undercoat that was on this before when I primed them, the little chalky, which you get sometimes if you spray too far away from the model when you spray it, or if you don't shake the can enough. Um, so we're gonna have to kind of do a little bit of like scrubbing on these models to get some of this paint off of it or onto it. So just be careful around the arms on these to not hit the areas that we want to keep the color on that we've already painted. For the other colors, for the white, you can get on there right now, especially like on the axes and stuff, because we're going to be painting those a completely different color. And it's darker than what we're working with right now, so it'll be fine. And then just try your best to get in there, the little underside parts. Looks like this is 1, 2, right in there, and just kind of scrub in there and see if we can get it. And keep pushing through. I'm gonna try to go for 2 hours. I don't know if I have it in me. Don't know if I have it in me. Just get that and then keep. Oh, that's weird. This one has it on his actual arm. Is this color? Not many of them have their arms that are the blue. Ooh. And here. These guys are just like our little throwaway units, so going. Not going to be too careful on these guys. Especially since, like I said, like getting in there is really hard. And these being so small definitely doesn't help. And there being so many of them for sure doesn't help. Like I was saying earlier, I kind of wish I just was like, let's airbrush these guys. Let's just spray it all with the airbrush and call it a day. It's not too late. It's never too late to just go for it. Then we will have to redo the skin and spend God knows how long getting our airbrush to work. So, you know, we just gotta figure out what we want to do. You're so little. Why do you have to be so little? I don't even know if I'm gonna put you in my army. Why are you doing this to me? Okay, so that's 4. This is the joys of batch painting. Just painting the same color on all your models at the same time, and then moving to the next color and doing the same thing. I think they do this as a form of torture in some countries. Like, we want you to batch paint our models for us. Thanks, bye. Like, I'll tell you anything you want. Just don't make me paint any more Nighthaunt. And we're painting, and we're painting. And this will be blue too. Oh no, that won't, because that's going to be something else. Okay, the thing about having crappy brushes is that you can just kind of, like for these edges, you can just kind of poke into it and let the brush fold into it and get the spots that you want. Because, these brushes were like $3 for like a pack of 5 of them. So, they're not fancy and they're dispensable. I probably do use them a little longer past their prime, as evidenced by this brush that I'm using right now. There. And every once in a while, just clean it off and then try to repoint it. If you don't know how to repoint a brush, you just kind of see this little crease in your hand. Just put the brush in there and just spin it and take it out. But when they're this gone, it's kind of hard to bring it back. You can see there's like lots of paint in this still, or not paint, just water. This is the first live stream on my channel for painting, and we'll have some lessons learned from this one, and we'll bring them hopefully into more for next time. Yeah, this primer is on there really rough, or like there's like a his basing material, which before was like dirt and grass. It got all over these guys, so it's a little grainy in there. Ooh, that's one row. I like to spin my brush in there to get it kind of repointed as best I can while I'm refilling it. But then you go in there and then it just kind of ruins the whole point anyway. So good thing we stuck with this brush. I think ruining that other brush so early. It's so young. It's in its prime. Why would we? You don't need to ruin its life yet. What is that? Okay, this is part of the little thingy. And get the front of it here. And that spot there. Okay. See how many more we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. So we are almost done with these guys. These guys will be, maybe I should do the purple on them first so that at least if I tap out early, I'm like, I did it, I finished the chain gas. The neighbors are going crazy. Who knows why? Nobody knows. Some say they're still partying to this day. Oh, I got a generator going on out there. Oop, and this guy has like no purple. or no? There's just, let's just get this underside. Oh, see, the most hated guys are the easiest ones to paint because they have like nothing to paint. And we'll wipe it off there. And we'll, oh no, that is his thumb. Okay, I was like, what is that? And we're finding out that he is also not glued onto his base. Way to go, guy who had this before me. I thought you had your army together. I didn't know there was a lot of assembly required here. Okay, that'll secure it long. Should just leave that out because I'm probably gonna find up a couple more here. It's just those guys though that are left from him. I think I had this ethereal steed beforehand. The spirit host already did, and then like the other, I don't know all their names because there's so many like chain this, chain that. I don't know all their titles, but like the different leaders that I got from there that I've already painted, so you don't have to worry about the. Oh god, this brush. Brush is not looking healthy. So you know, like there's a time and place for things. So this guy definitely has this brush written all over it because using that other one on this creates too much extra work for me in the long run. So just get in there, get under here. That little stabby hole there. Okay, that's it for those stupid guys though. So now we can go back to the bad brush. Ooh, we're coming up on an hour here. Okay. And back here. Getting in those nooks and crannies the best we can. This is the cool models that I like. This one. moldy bits. 5 more! 5 more, guys! So really hot today. Maybe that could be messing with the brush a bit too. Also, I treat it like garbage, so that definitely contributes. Like mowing the lawn? What are they doing? What are they doing out there? Let me take a little peeky peek. Let's see what's going on. Like power washing? Like a power washer. I got like a power washer going on, spraying the floor for some reason. Because you want to keep the concrete outside nice and clean. I don't know. I don't know why you would power wash the floor. Yeah, we gotta get this side. Ooh. I think next time the plan is to have music for you guys because I'm sure it's boring listening to nothing. But you can also have music on your own too. You can also put your Spotify on, and it won't be royalty free music. It'll be whatever music you want it to be. Unless you really love royalty free music. That's your jam. I still gotta. Did these guys get magnetized? They did. I wonder if it's the good magnets or not, though. That's a test for another day. Actually, I think I have a thingy out that I can check it with. But I feel like I had the magnet rack from, what's it called? Battle Foam before that. So, before I had these guys and started magnetizing them. So, because that's the only reason I would magnetize them is for that. Because before I didn't magnetize. But since models are starting to get more and more fiddly, I'm starting to magnetize my models more, just because it's easier than putting them in foam and trusting that the foam will protect it somehow. This guy think he's Morbius, he's just standing there like. Rrr. Did anyone see that movie? Do you know if it's good? I've heard not good things about it. And I love Marvel movies, but that's, it's a Sony movie. It's not a Marvel movie. There's a difference. Okay, that's all the blue. We made it. We made it to the next step. Give that a good Rub-a-dub-dub. Now the trick for this purple is going to be just not going as hard. Like don't push in as much as we did for the blue, so that way we'll just kind of glide over the parts that we already did. So let's actually get a different brush for this. Let's get this little guy right here. I think this one will probably be the good one. Come on. It's a little bit bigger, but it still has a point on it. Just gonna grab this one. Get it wet. And then we're gonna go to our purple, which is this blue violet from Vallejo. There it is. And let's just start with this guy since he's bigger surface, or from biggest surface to smallest surface, I guess. And this stuff has the same kind of issue that I had with the blue paint, where it does sometimes leave like a little white residue, or not residue, just like a white, it'll like kind of dry in on itself and leave like a spot of white undone. So you just gotta make sure we're giving it a decent coat when we're doing it. And then being careful around the blue that we've already done. You don't want to undo the work that we've done already. So the important part to painting quickly is getting through the sections with minimal damage to previous sections. And that will help you get tabletop ready armies faster. You know, just also learning to let go of some of the more smaller mistakes, which I know is hard too. Like if I have like a little spot on a model and I notice it, no one else will, but I know it's there. It'll definitely keep me up until I fix it. So if you have that problem too, I get it. There's some spots that we miss in there, but we can kind of hide it with the purple because it is dark in there anyway. And just get those edges. I don't know why I'm not using the holder anymore. Who do I think I am? Just try to anchor your body, your fingers on other fingers as much as possible to have as many point of contact on your hand as you can, and that'll help you stop shaking. He's got some right in there. But he's definitely got a skull sticking out, so I gotta fix that. But for now, get the back here. And that's his purple done. Let's hope the rest of it goes smooth like that. And they have these little masks on and stuff for them, these little iron helmets, or whatever the material they're made out of, I don't know. But they also have these little hoods that have some little things around it, so I like to paint those metallic also when we get to the metallics. I like to get the edges first. That way it kind of just makes the rest of the way safer for you to do. You don't have to worry as much when you're doing it because you already got the hard part locked in. Get those edges and then work your way into those little creases. Be careful around your arms. Like we said, you want to do minimal damage to previous areas. And yeah, just go light over when you're over the blue to try to get as little spillover as you can happening. We gotta kind of get in there, and then we missed that whole section. Some white spots on there. And then these little overhangs. I'm gonna get those just to cover up the white. If there's blue on it already, you don't have to worry about it as much. Just you just want to get rid of the white because the white will stand out the most when you look at it from afar. So that's that. Cool. It's a lot easier when they're not all squished in like they were, like that last one was. So for this we can get in here. Just do a semi-decent job in there, like, because they're like this, so you're not gonna see them like that. But do your best to keep it kind of clean. Cool thing about these models is that, they aren't that complicated, so there's not a whole lot of like detail you have to worry about painting. There's just like some chains here and there, and maybe like a belt on some things, but for the most part, you're just painting flat surfaces, which also, that also kind of ties into the boredom of it. But if you're looking for a quicker army to paint, this is definitely probably one of them, especially like if you do the airbrush approach like I was talking about before. Just spray from the bottom one color and then spray from the top another color, and that'll probably give you the same kind of look. Especially like how I did my Spirit Torments, it's basically just that. It's just like a, what's it called, ombre from one color to another, and it looks good. And I know I said I was going to paint for 2 hours, but something has come up. I think I have to go. But thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. New videos on the YouTube channel, which is Drum War Gaming, every Wednesday. And hopefully we'll have more live streams, especially if I have to do these some more. I'll probably try to do them like Saturdays or Wednesdays and Saturdays, probably Wednesdays or Saturdays when I do them. So yeah, thanks for watching. Give us a like, and we'll see you next time.